Hello, this is Pastor Cliff. I just felt in the Lord to make a teaching on betrayal, because whether you like it or whether you don't like it, this happens in life, and it happens in the church, and it happens in life where people let you down and where you get disappointed. And I just want to look at a few scriptures about it and what the word betrayal means, and just just put a little bit of thought on betrayal, and in a positive way, bring it as a positive light to you in how to overcome. So the first thing I want to look at is Psalm 41 and verse 9, a verse which I found this morning, didn't realise was there, but found. In Psalm 41 and verse 9 it says this: Yea, my own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, which did eat of my bread, hath lifted up his heel against me. That's prophetic about what happened to Jesus, which you then find in Matthew, where Jesus then was betrayed, and we all know that he was betrayed by Judas. And it says in Matthew chapter 26, verses 21 to 23, And as they did eat, he said, Verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceedingly sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I? And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in this dish, the same shall betray me. And that's what happened to Jesus. So if it happened to Jesus, you can rest assured that in the Lord it could happen to you. And in all my own walk in the Lord and ministry, I have found that people have let me down, and in some ways said some rotten things about me, because it's a fact of life in following the Lord. Woe if all men speak well of you. What does the word betray mean anyway? And what does betrayal mean? So I decided to look, because it's a thing that I do. I look up words and I find out their meaning. So I thought I'll just study this a little bit more, and let's just look at the word betrayal, what it means. Betrayal means this. It means an act of deliberate disloyalty. An act of deliberate disloyalty, right? And it can be like when a friend tells your secrets and that you confided in him and he decides to tell them, And in the Greek, in Strong's Concordance, in number 380, it means this. It means to hand over a deliberate betrayal. That's in Strong's, in the Greek, 3860. So I decided, well, I thought I'd go and look at this word in the Hebrew. I wonder what it means in the Hebrew. And the Strong's is a book that I get. And it's a book which you can look up words in a verse or a meaning of the word, and this big thick book, and you just look up a Hebrew and it gives you a number. And it tells you what the meaning is, the literal meaning of it. So I looked up the word in the Hebrew. And in the Hebrew, the word is B-A-G-A-D, baguette. And it means to deal treacherously. In other words, to do something that's not very nice at all. And if you think about what happened to Jesus, in the sense, it was prophesied in Psalm 41, and then it happened to him, and it was acted out in Matthew 26 here, that he was betrayed. But it was all in God's plan. And it had to be there because Jesus was going to die on our behalf. And he was betrayed by Judas to the priests and the Pharisees of that day. And Jesus was brought before Pilate, and we know he was crucified. It was all in God's plan. God knew it was going to happen. It was not a surprise to the Lord. And I can tell you this, it's not a surprise to the Lord in your life when you find that someone lets you down. It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise at all. And I just want to encourage you today that it's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing. Jesus was betrayed because he has a purpose to die on the cross that we might be saved. And it says in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, and verse 8, it says this: But which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. The wisdom of God, in the verse before it says, He ordained before the world began that this was going to happen in verse 7, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 7. And the prince of this world had known what they would do when they crucified Jesus on the cross. They would never have done it. The reason is because when Jesus went on the cross, he defeated the devil fully. He moved you out of a kingdom of darkness into a kingdom of light, and he made a way where you could get saved. So being betrayed was not necessarily a bad thing. It was in God's plan. And I've found in my life, and I want to encourage you on this DVD this morning, have you had people, or been in situations which happened in my life? I've helped groups in Christian groups, and I've been faithful. I've done what I can do in them. And all of a sudden, for some reason, it's not fitted, and they rose up against me, and some things have happened, and things have been said about me, and I've not been able to defend that. And it's meant that I was pushed out of that group, and pushed out of that group for doing nothing wrong, but was pushed out of it. And as it were, was betrayed and hurt. And you know that out of that, I found that out of them experiences, when one door closes, God opens another. And sometimes situations happen where we think, why is that happening? You see, why was Jesus? It would seem it was unfair. He was betrayed. Unfair that Jesus would do that, because he was such a wonderful person, was the Lord. He'd been with him day in, day out, and yet he did that. But you see, God had a plan, and that plan was he would die on the cross. The princes of this world didn't realize that, and it became a position where we could be saved. It was for our good. When I've found sometimes when God closes one door and pushes you out of one door, even if it's the wrong way, and even if it's people saying wrong things against you, even if it's people gossiping about you, it's people are pulling you down, I've found that God closes that door to push you into something better. He pushes you out that door to push you into something more that's better for you in the long run. At the time, we might not see it. At the time, if we're honest, sometimes we get hurt. Sometimes you want to fight back. But I tell you, it happens. You see, and you'll find that in the Bible, I didn't look it up this morning, but if you think about Paul and Silas, they fell out over a man called John Mark. And Paul didn't feel that John Mark was doing what he should be doing. And you look in the book of Acts. And Paul said, he can't follow me anymore. And Barnabas came into the picture, and he took John Mark, and he said, look, no, Mark, you go with me. And Paul and Silas went off one road, Barnabas and Mark went on to another road, and more people were touched the kingdom. And if you look in the book of Timothy, you'll find that Paul and Mark then became together again. So sometimes there can be that kind of thing can happen, and it's for the glory of God. And, you know, it doesn't seem at the time, but it can be. Betrayal will happen. People will let you down. And the essence of it is this, and this is what I want to make clear this morning. The essence is this, that God does want us to put confidence in man. It's Psalm 18 and verse 8 says, but confidence in the Lord. You see, we must put at all times, keep our minds on the Lord. Sure, there's going to be people that are going to stand behind you, help you, support you, and be with you through everything. They are true people that will be there. But there will be people that will come into your life at times, I can say categorically, that you were with for a while and they will do strange things. But God will make sure that you keep your eyes trusting him and not looking at man. Because it's God, it's the Lord that works your life out. Betrayal is a positive, it can be a positive thing. It can move you on to something that's better. In Jesus was betrayed because it was on the purpose and the plan of God that we might have salvation. The princes of darkness were foolish. They didn't realize what they were doing. And if it, like it says in this verse, if they knew what they were doing, they would never have crucified the Lord Jesus Christ. But they didn't. God's plan was fulfilled. And today in your life, if you've got situations which seem difficult, you feel you've been let down, then keep your heart right, forgive them, pray for them, don't get angry, don't get upset, don't get to a point where you want to fight back and justify yourself. Let the Lord do that. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, says Romans. Let God work that out. Let the Lord work that area out. But you keep your heart right in loving them people and say, Lord, what's the purpose? Why did you drive that? Why was I betrayed? Lord, you're moving me on to something better. And I found in my life, when God closes one door, even like that, he usually opens a door far, far better. And that's what the Lord's about. So today, I want to just bring it from a positive light about betrayal. It happened to Jesus. I'm being real in the fact it could happen to you. I'm pretty certain it will. And you will have positions where people will let you down. But it's all because God wants to move you on to something better. And he wants you to 100% know that you can't put confidence in man. You put the confidence in the Lord. Psalm 118 verse 8. Put the confidence in the Lord. The Lord richly bless you. Hello, this is Pastor Cliff Chapman. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all for the time you spent watching my videos. I'm just saying to you today that if you want to get in touch with me with any ideas, anything you would like help with, or if you don't attend a church at the moment, you want more help with Bible study, then please feel free to contact me. I have contact places on my Facebook page, Pastor Cliff Chapman Evangelist Ministries, also my email address, which is at the end of every video, and my own mobile number. If you cannot use any of them, you can also get contact me through members page on Task Jesus. Do feel free to contact me because I'm here to help. I'm here to help you grow in the Lord. The Lord bless you all richly.